Hi, everyone. Have you ever asked the Akashic Records a question, only to wonder a bit later, can I ask that question again? Maybe you were worried that you'd be bothering the records, or perhaps you thought, if I ask the same question twice, won't I just get the same answer? But what if? The most meaningful questions are the ones we ask over and over throughout our lives. What if the answer doesn't change because the Akashic Records changed, but you did? Today, let's explore why revisiting the same questions can reveal entirely new layers of wisdom. I'm Diane. I'm an Akashic Records reader and emotional energy healer, and this is Soul Cloud. Hi, everyone. We're back with another episode of Soul Cloud. So, if it's your first time here, hello and welcome, especially those who are watching the replay and those who are here in the chat. Hi, people. I want to say hi to Leo Omega 8, who is here very early. 369 Shine is here. Missy Nelson is here. Oh, go. Let's do this. There. And CJN Cats is here. Love and Light Michelle. Oh, I see you. Aldwin Walker is here. Andy Painless is here. Hi. Kim, Red Dragon is here. And Fiona, who is celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, Fiona. I hope you're having a good one. And Tina Bubina is here. Hi, Tina. And Amethyst Lapis Tarot is here. Hi, Al. Yay, you get to enjoy the live today. And Tiffany Teasdale is here. Barbara Hartlove is here. Love Light Michelle is here. Tinkerbell is here. And Sherry Cindy Shea is here. And Stardust is here. So if it's your first time here, Soul Cloud is a show where we ask spiritual questions and we talk about spiritual concepts. And then during the second part of the show, I do mini Akashic Records readings or energy clearings. So if you're in the chat and you're interested in getting a mini reading from me, please type in hashtag ask. That is our keyword, our magical keyword for today to get a mini reading. So the readings will be drawn at random. But if you see my name get drawn, please know that it's not rigged. It's not possible for me to rig it. Here we go. So the question that we're asking today is, can we ask the same questions, or can I ask the Akashic Records the same question more than once? And this is something that's not explicitly asked of me before, but it's something that I have noticed. There are people who ask the same questions, and people are wondering, is it okay if we ask the same question over and over? Well, it depends on the question that we're asking, and it also depends on why we're asking it. There are people who ask the same question like every hour, every 5 minutes to different psychics, trying to find out or trying to find the answer that they want. Well, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Um, that's the like shopping for answers. So spirit doesn't work that way. Even if we ask the same question to different people, if it's really spirit they are connecting with, the likelihood of the answer changing is very narrow. So if you're thinking of doing that, please don't. So that's when we don't ask questions, or when asking the same question will not be beneficial for us. When you're just shopping for answers or trying to find the answer that would fit you or that you like, spirit doesn't work that way. But there are actually questions that we can ask over and over, and it's okay. Not every hour, not every 5 minutes, but maybe during different periods of our lives. Sometimes we think of the Akashic Records as a library filled with fixed answers, as if once we've received the response, that's the end of the story, that's it. But from my experience as an Akashic Records reader, it's much more like a living conversation with the Akashic Records. And like a living conversation, not only with the records, but with your soul. They don't simply hand you the information, they meet you somewhere along wherever you are in your journey. So the answers that we get might also depend on where we are as a soul. And as we grow, as we heal and gain new life experiences, we're able to understand that, things in ways that weren't possible before. The question might be the same, but the person asking isn't. The person who we are isn't anymore. And today I'd like to share some of my evergreen questions. Oh, where are they? Hold on. There are some questions that we might ask over and over where we get different responses every time. Hold on. But before we get in there, I want to say hi to the people who are coming in. Stardust 315 is here. Hello. Oh, our hands are busy with dishes and food. Thank you for work lurking. And Kimmy Kinsat is here. Hello, Kimmy. And Stephanie. Violets for Roses is also here. Hi. And Missy Nelson is also here. Hi. And Catherine is also here. Hi. Hi, Catherine. Kimmy is saying, I love the little things behind your head. Those little tiny guys. You mean my Legos? Yeah. This one's Legos and this. Yeah. And I found some interesting comments that you guys left a while ago. I want to highlight them. First is Stardust, who is asking, I agree. And I know it can be insulting to the readers. There's also another angle. If you're a psychic yourself, there's a way to seek angles and clarification. That is very true. Um, Not necessarily insulting, but I feel like they're just shopping for answers that they want. When they don't like to hear what one reader says, they try to look for another. But the thing is, it doesn't always work that way because if both are connected with the same with spirit, then chances are the messages that they'll get are the same or very similar. So yeah, it doesn't always work. And odd. Oh, there we go. Leah is saying, seems like a careless thing to repeat a query, gives no respect to the original answers. That, again, that depends on what kind of questions you're asking and how often, how frequent you're asking them. Aldwin Walker is saying, the Akashic records are fluid. So if you make a change for someone else, does the future record might have changed as well? That's very true. If you're interested to explore more about this topic, I did a topic about this, about free will in the Akashic records. So I think that was around January or February. So if you're new here, you might want to check that out if you're interested. Catherine is saying they look like your cheering section. I didn't realize that, but now I do. I can't unsee that. They look like they're in the bleachers. Wow. I love that you guys are greeting Fiona on her birthday. I like birthdays. It's a celebration of life that we've lived. Okay, here we go. Some of the important, or not important, but the evergreen questions that we can ask the Akashic records over and over, and the chances and the answers that we get might be different, depending on where we are in our soul journey. So here are some of the questions, examples of questions. First is, for example, what am I not seeing about myself right now? So if you ask it right now, then it might be different. The answer that you get might be different from the answer that you get like a month from now, because of the realizations and the lessons that we might have already learned. Another evergreen question that we can ask is, what part of me is ready to grow? So this is something that you might want to ask maybe yearly, or after you felt like you went through a milestone in your life. What belief am I ready to release? So if you've already believed something and it's not benefiting you anymore, it might be something that you can release. So the Akashic records can help you with that. So it's something that you can also ask. With regards to your life direction, for example, you can ask, "What is my soul asking me in this season of my life?" Or what is the most important for me to focus on right now? That is along my soul path, or uh, that is aligned with my soul path. So those are good questions. With regards to relationships, this is something that I get the repeat questions over and over. But sometimes it's the way we phrase it. So some of the evergreen questions that we can ask over and over about relationships is, what am I being invited to learn through this relationship? Or what am I learning through this relationship? Or what pattern keeps repeating with me and my relationships? And what healing is available for me in this relationship? So those are evergreen questions. And we can also ask things about spiritual growth, such as what gift is emerging within me. We sometimes I see people who are so gifted. There are people who are so gifted that they have all these gifts. They're healers, they're channelers, uh, and they're transmuters, for example, that they don't know what to focus on. So it's one of the good questions that we can ask over and over again, because sometimes the mission that we are on right now, the soul mission that we are on right now, is different from the soul mission that we have like 2 or 3 years from now. So some of the questions about emotional healing that you can ask the Akashic records is, what part of me wants to be acknowledged today? Or what part of myself needs compassion? So those are the questions that you can ask over and over again. So I hope that makes sense, everyone, and I hope that you get some questions that you can ask in the future. I have a notebook. I'll show you my notebook of questions that I want to ask the Akashic record. So this is my handy dandy notebook. Ta-da! And it has the questions that I ask the record. So some of them contain evergreen questions like this, so that whenever I get drawn in shows that well, not my own shows, but in other shows, these are things that I can ask. So you might also want to do that if you'd like it. Yeah, Catherine is saying these are all such great questions. I can see why we'd want to revisit them from time to time. Yes. But again, there are some questions, and I'll give you an example, but it's not limited to this, okay? One of the examples that is difficult, or not very advisable to ask over and over again is that, uh, am I and this person meant to be together? Or does this person love me? Or what kind of past life did I have with this person? Because it kind of oversteps on the boundary of that person, energetic boundary, depending on how much information that you get. That's one of the reasons, and also because you're trying to find a specific answer that you like if you keep repeating it over and over again. I hope that helps. But it's one of the most frequent questions that we get, especially during these lives. Yeah. So instead of those questions, we might rephrase them into the questions that I have mentioned a while ago, like what pattern is repeating through this relationship? Or um, how can I show up authentically in my relationships or in my relationship with this person? So those are the questions, or how we can rephrase the questions to be better suited for spirit. So I hope that helps everyone. And again, if you're interested in getting a reading, a meaning reading today, you can type in hashtag ask. The banner is here. Type in hashtag ask to enter the draw for a reading. You only need to type it once, and you're in for the draw for the entire episode. So don't worry. So, everyone, if you're ready, let's take 3 deep breaths. I'm going to open the Akashic Records. Only the highest frequency of love and light can remain in the sacred space and all objects in the sacred space. For the highest good of this group, consisting of myself, those who are watching right now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch the replay. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. Now I call in the highest level of the divine that knows that love is the power and the truth from which we read. Our highest level guides and angels to help us with this reading. Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron, please hold this sacred space. And so it is. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good, the highest good of all, the most benevolent outcome. Akashic Records Master, Spirit Guides, and Angels, please let us know this group in the light of the Akashic Records and enable us to share the wisdom and compassion that the Masters, teachers, and loved ones have for us. The records are now open. Yay! Oops. Just going to do this. So again, everyone, the hashtag is hashtag ask. Please type it in if you'd like to enter the draw for a reading. So when your name is drawn, please type in your question and let's go. This is what I'm talking about. The first person drawn is me. Oh my gosh. Again, the hashtag is hashtag ask. Congratulations to me. I'm very lucky. Tiffany Teasdale. Congratulations, Tiffany. And please type in your question. Violets for Roses, Stephanie. Congratulations. And please type in your question. Amethyst Lapis Tarot, who is here today. Congratulations, Al. Please type in your question. Last for this round, I'll be doing another set later. But last for this round, we have Brina 41. Congratulations, Brina. And please type in your question. Oh, I love this. Okay. I'm seeing your questions and starring them, everyone. Again, that's Tiffany Teasdale, Stephanie, Violets for Roses, Amethyst Lapis Tarot, and Brina 41. So I have your question, Tiffany and Stephanie. Stardust is saying, yeah, Diane, I can't wait to hear your reading, my own reading. It's okay. Uh, I will read for myself, at least for today. And this is very interesting. Uh, 369 Shine is saying, have you seen the experiment how humans can affect random number generators and computers through their consciousness? I did not. I have not. But this is very interesting. I'd love to see this. Like, can we actually influence random number generators? Because I'm very lucky. And I say that every time. I'm very lucky. I wonder if saying that actually influences it. So I have questions from Tiffany, Stephanie, and Brina, but I don't have a question from Al yet. So we're waiting for Al. Hi, Liz. I hope you're doing well. Okay. But while we're waiting for Al, let's start with Tiffany, who is asking, I would like to know what clairs I should be working on now, please. This is interesting. Okay. So if you're not familiar with what the clairs are, these are our senses, our different types of intuition. So there are several, and I also have done a topic on this before here on Soul Cloud. So it's called clairs. I think it's been a year or more ago that I've done it. So I'm not from the top of my head. I don't recall the title, but it's about that long ago. Maybe it's something that we can revisit. So if you're watching the replay and you want that, type it in the comments later. Okay, Akashic Records Masters and Spirit Guides. Um, what players would benefit Tiffany Teasdale to focus on right now, please? Really? Okay. Does she have more than one? Yes. Okay. Tiffany, I have a question. Do you cook? Do you like cooking? Because the answer that I got from Spirit is that the Claire's that you should be working on right now is Claire Gustins. I'm going to type it in the chat. Claire Gustins. And Tiffany is saying, I do cook. Perfect. Because Claire Gustins is the intuition, the ability to taste something without actually eating or maybe even smelling. You don't taste them in the same way whenever we're eating. It's different. How do I explain this? When I mention the name apple, for example, you can taste it. You don't just see the image, you don't just hear the crisp. You really taste what it tastes like. Or when I say barbecue, you can taste the spices without really putting it in your mouth and tasting it. So that is how Claire Gustins work. You can just think about it and then you taste it and then you taste it. Um, Another way this works is that when you hear about something that you don't or you're not very familiar with, a food that you're not very familiar with, or you see a picture of a food that you're not very familiar with, you can taste it. You can taste it through your senses. And it's very interesting that this is what Spirit told you to do or to focus on, that the Akashic Records is telling you to focus on. We, we, we clear for her. Does she have other clairs? Or is this her strongest clair right now? Oh, okay. I ask if this is like your strongest clairvoyance or clairvoyance, if this is your strongest clair. And the Akashic Records is like saying, no, it's not your strongest clair right now, but it's something that you have that you don't notice. That's why they're asking you to focus on it a little bit more because you do cook and it might be something that's related to your soul mission, but it's very interesting. I hope that helps, Tiffany. This was very interesting, yeah, to say the least. Yes, Tiffany is saying, I'm going to work on that. Sounds fun to try. Yes. One of the exercises that you can do is you can look at pictures of food that you have no way of accessing. No way of accessing. And then try to ask spirit, ask your guides even to help you taste it. Maybe a recipe, since you cook anyway, maybe a recipe. Google a recipe that you're interested in trying, but you haven't tried it yet before. And then before cooking it, you can ask spirit, okay, spirit, let me know what this tastes like. And imagine it, taste it in your mouth. And then after cooking it, taste it and see how similar it is or how different it is. Yeah, that's one of the exercises that you can do to develop this gift, Tiffany. But it's very interesting. And I want to say hi, special hi to Annie Bear who's here and swooshing through. I will be on with Annie again on Wednesday, July 22nd. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing us together, please subscribe to both of our channels. Oh, you're very welcome, Tiffany. And the next person is Violets for Roses. Violets for Roses is asking, can I ask the Akashic Records how my creativity is connected to music? I remember it from a previous reading. Okay, Since we were talking about clairs a while ago, what popped in my mind as I was reading this question, Stephanie, is that you also have clear audience. Clear audience is the sense of hearing or the intuitive sense of hearing. So, how it works is that sometimes we hear words coming from spirit, but it's not strictly limited to that. Sometimes we hear music that might remind us of people who have passed by. Um, so, that is one form of it. But in your case, I'm going to ask more about your past life connected with this. What I'm being shown is how music steers up your imagination while you are drawing. Is this a specific past life that you're showing me? Okay, just symbolic. Okay. You have the ability to connect vibrations. And what I mean to say, I'm trying to explain it because they showed me images of how this is related, but it's hard to transfer it in English words. You hear the note, you hear how it's strung together, and you can translate it in color, if that makes sense. I know that vibration, like certain vibrations, have an equivalent in sound, and it has a certain equivalent in light or colors. And you can somehow connect those together, and it's an ability that's kind of instinctive for you. You didn't have to learn it. You just feel it. And I feel my heart chakra like this is how it works for you. Like your heart chakra works whenever this gift of yours work. Like when you hear music or you're hearing music when you paint or when you draw colors, when you put these ideas into paper, you can translate the music and translate it through painting or artwork. And they carry the same or similar vibrations is what they're showing me. Like these are both channeled informations that you got from spirit. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, okay. Violet Roses is saying, I'm willing to admit my primary school teacher forced us to listen to Vivaldi whenever we painted. Yeah, that's fascinating because have you tried painting while listening to different sorts of music? Like it gives you inspiration and you don't understand why. I feel like you're especially good at that, Stephanie. Like you can translate music, different sorts of music into different kinds of paintings. And it's something that is very instinctive for you. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to overanalyze the music. You just do it. That's what they were showing it. How they were showing it to me in through my mind's eye. That it's something that you can translate very easily. Like it's not something that you got as a as something from the past life, but it's like an ability that you have that's very unique for you. Because it's the first time that I'm seeing this. And Violets for Roses is saying, I still connect music to color somehow. Yeah. And notice how um, whenever there's music playing in the background, you can connect it with that certain experience. Like if you have earphones on and you're walking and something good happens to you, you sort of relate that that event to the music that you're hearing. So whenever you hear that music playing, you also connected with the event. I feel like it's something that is very strong within you, Stephanie. That connection, that recollection. Yeah. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense, Stephanie. It's a very lovely, it's a very lovely gift that you have. Ah, hello, Mary. Mary is here. Mystical Signatures. Hi. I hope you're doing well. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for letting me read for you, and I really hope that helps. Next up, next up is Amethyst Lapistero, who is asking during my chakra clearing on Thursday. One of my Nordic relatives helped me with grounding. How much is he working with my team? I asked them for help finding someone important lost from a past life. Interesting. Just looking for a previous comment because this is a big, huge. Scroll, 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 scroll. Okay, found it. Okay. First, I'm asking for like a validation, a clarification. Is one of Amethyst Lapistaro's Nordic relatives helping her with grounding? So I'm getting a yes on this, Al. Okay. Now I'm going to ask the records. Like, what is your connection with this ancestor? This is an ancestor who you've shared no past lives with, but he recognizes the journey that you're on. That's why he decided to help you this lifetime. I'm seeing no, like this ancestor that's helping you. He had experience living in a snowy area. And they're telling me that he has some experiences that are parallel to what you're going through right now. He keeps questioning why. And okay, he's someone who asks a lot of questions about existence. And he's saying, okay, they were too advanced for that lifetime. And he didn't understand it back then. Oh, okay. So he's saying, and this is weird. I was talking with the Akashic Records and now he's here. Okay. The ancestor is saying that because of those questions that he has been asking, he kind of, the feeling that I'm getting is that I'm floating. He's asking a lot about, or he was asking a lot about questions about how he came here on earth. Why does the trees feel so comforting? Or why do trees feel so comforting to him? And he was even asking, what is out there? Are we the only people who are here? Or are there other people in faraway places that we just haven't met yet? And he says he's had challenges asking those questions because not only were they too far advanced for the time he was in, but because he felt ungrounded. He wasn't grounded in the present. He kept asking about the future. in the past, what happened then, what is going to happen, that he has failed to realize that I'm here or that he is here in the present. And that is why he is helping you ground in the present because he's recognizing the same patterns that he was undergoing through in in that specific lifetime that he had. He recognizes them as things that you're going through right now. That's why he volunteered to help you right now. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Al, but he says that's why he's helping you with grounding. I'm going to ask, like, what else is he helping you with? Staying in the moment and cherishing the present moment that you have. And that includes relationships, is what he's saying. Relationships with your family and loved ones and close friends. Those are things that he's helping you out with. I hope that helps, Al. And thank you so much for letting me read for you today. Okay. And last for this round, we have Brina, 41, who is asking, is there anything in the Akashic Records to indicate why I'm having kidney issues in this lifetime? May I have a healing or clearing as needed? Thanks. Okay. Uh, I want to remind everyone this is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. Please always consult with your medical professionals in matters concerning your health. First, I'm going to ask is are the kidney issues that Brina is experiencing are they connected with the past life? No, I'm not getting that there's a connection between the kidney issues that you're having and the past life. So this is something that's from the present life, is what I'm getting. Okay. Can you show me, please? What's trapped in the kidney? Or is it ancestral? Lack of control. Okay. What I'm doing, Brina, is I'm looking for or asking uh, what trapped emotions are affecting your kidney right now. Is there more than one? So it's lack of control. Okay. And the trapped emotion that I got that is connected with with the kidney issues is lack of control. And again, this is not something that has originated from a past lifetime. This is something that's from your present lifetime. Okay. When was this? Can you show me? Do you like processed food, Brina? Because what I'm showing is eating, eating. This was in the first trimester of her life, the second trimester of her life, in her 20s, 30s. I don't know how old or how young you are right now, Brino, but this is something that happened in your 30s. I'm seeing that you would overindulge in processed food. I don't know. It looks like chips. Do you eat chips? So there was a lack of control. Whenever it's like a response to feeling that lack of control, that you would snack on processed food. Mainly chips is what they're showing me, but it might be something different. But yeah, it's a response. The overindulging was a response to feeling the lack of control. Oh, sweets. They were sweets. Okay. But that is what I got from that. It's from this lifetime, not from a past lifetime. And it's a response to feeling the lack of control. So whenever you felt like things were not going your way, uh, that's how you reacted. I'm going to see what caused this trap emotion to, or what caused this emotion to be trapped in your body. You've been feeling overwhelmed, is what I am getting. You felt overwhelmed during that period of your life with things, and you felt like nothing is going your way. Like everything was just busy, 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 and you felt like you didn't have any control over your life. So in response, you would like stress eat. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, okay. Rene is saying that was a period of my life when I felt like I had little control. Then that makes sense. And it affected, or this emotion got trapped in your kidney area. So if this is something that you want to be cleared, please type in yes in the chat. If not, type in no. That's also okay. But that is what I'm getting. That makes sense. Thank you for validating that, Brina. And again, everyone, if you're interested in getting a private reading with me, my details are in the description. Um, yeah, this is something that I do privately as well. If you're not comfortable in doing it like over on YouTube, like you can book a private reading with me. Okay, Brina is saying yes, please clear. Okay. I request the clearing of this trapped emotion of lack of control from Brina's physical body, her energy body. No timelines in all lifetimes in the past, present, and future. For Brina's highest good guides to the fall of the most benevolent outcome. Akashic Records Masters, Spirit Guides, and Angels. Please, this trapped emotion. Okay, and it's done, Brina. And uh, is it your left kidney that's having issues? Because that's what I was being shown. But I hope that helps, Brina. And thank you so much for letting me do this clearing for you. Today it is. Thank you. And Amethyst Lapis Tarot was saying, he even showed his spaceship. This is what the ancestor sounds like. He can relate. Good timing. The astrology alignments have me on stand down until January at least. Glad to hear that. And that makes sense because what he was showing me what he was thinking during that time. And he was wondering about space and if we're alone in the universe. It's that kind of thinking that he had. Interesting. So, everyone, if you haven't done it yet, please type in hashtag ask. I'll draw for another set of readings. Old Wind Walker, congratulations, Old Wind Walker, and please type in your question. Stardust 315, congratulations, Stardust, and please type in your question. Barbara Hartlove, congratulations, Barbara, and please type in your question. And last for this round, we have The Painless. The Painless, congratulations, and please type in your question in the chat. Okay, I have your question, Old Wind Walker and Barbara Hartlove. So we're still waiting for Stardust 315 and the Painless's question. And Kimberly is saying, I believe everyone that gets a reading is meant to have it. Yes, and what's very interesting is that even if you're not drawn, even if your name isn't drawn and you're in the chat or you're watching the replay, there are messages that might resonate for you. And if they do, take it. Because what Spirit is extremely, extremely good at is giving messages that's not only for one person, it can be from several people. They find ways to do that, and it's very fascinating. It's just amazing. And I got your question, The Painless. So we're still waiting for Stardust 315. So while waiting for her, let's start with Old Windwalker, who's asking, have I had any lifetimes with a dragon companion? Do I have a dragon companion? What can you tell me about them? Awesome. About a dragon spirit guide. Did she have a past lifetime with a dragon? she working with one right now? Is it an inner earth or spirit guide? Okay. So, Old Windwalker, I was asking the records if you've had any past lifetimes with dragons, and I got a negative on that. You don't have any past lifetimes with dragons, but you do have at least. Does she have more than one? Okay. You have more than one dragon spirit guide right now, Old Windwalker. And I'm seeing three. Three dragons are stepping forward. The colors are like first is rose pink, then gold, and green. At least that's their dominant colors. What are you helping Old Windwalker out, please? Okay, the gold dragon with you is helping you with knowledge. Like he's helping you connect with sources whenever you ask questions. He's helping you with knowledge. Is what the your gold dragon guide is doing. The green one is helping you with healing, self healing, and the rose. Okay. This is they're going with their colors. The rose dragon is helping you with your emotions in processing emotions, transmuting your emotions. That's what she's saying. That's what she's helping you out with. But you didn't have any past lifetimes with dragons, just that you have dragon spirit guides in this lifetime. Any message? Do you want this deck? Dragon guides? No? You want that one? Which one do you want? That one? Okay. I asked a message from your dragon guides, and the card that I pulled for you is energy. This is something that they're helping you out with as well, your energy. And it says, stop trying to please everyone. Everyone is a whole lot of people. Protect your energy. Oops. But yeah, that is their message for you today to protect your energy. And I hope that helps, Old Windwalker. And thank you so much for letting me read for you. There we go. Sorry, everyone. I knocked some cards over and it knocked some cords out. But yeah, I hope Alden Walker that helps. And thank you so much for letting me do that reading for you. Next up is a question from Barbara Hartlove. I'm not seeing Stardust 315's question. Stardust, if you're here, type in your question. If not, I'm going to draw for another person later. And Barbara Hartlove is asking, what could I see more clearly about myself right now? Oh, I love this. This is one of the evergreen questions. What can I see more clearly about myself now? And what I'm hearing is values. Like in the past, and this isn't something from past lives or anything, but I'm feeling more about present lifetime. In the past, you tried to please everyone, is the message that I'm getting. That you would try to please everyone. But now you know what you value. And what they're showing me is people. The people who are very dear to you and people you love. Those are what you value. And so now you don't try to please everyone. You try to please yourself. And what you noticed about doing that is that you become more magnetic to the people who resonate with you, to the people that you love. So now you know what you value. They're telling me that there was a shift in the way you see relationships. That's a big thing. That's compared to your past, or not past self, but your younger self in this lifetime. It's a big change, is what I'm getting. Now you care less. It's when they're telling me it's not bad to care less because you're caring less about the people who they're showing me circles, and there's an outer circle. You care less about what your outer circle thinks. You focus your energy on your inner circle, on the relationships that are closer to you, instead of focusing them to all. Like you're targeting the energy that is closest within you, or around you, instead of everyone, because it's tiring. They're making me feel the tiredness. But I hope that helps, Barbara. Oh, Barbara is saying that's spot on. I have let a lot go. I'm glad for you, Barbara. It's hard to let people go, but sometimes it's just that they are no longer serving our highest good. We're no longer growing with them, or uh, it's just not the relationships are just not benefiting either of us anymore. So we have to let them go, and it's a tough lesson to learn, but it's very beneficial for all parties involved. So I'm very happy for you that you were able to do that. So thank you so much, Barbara, for letting us read for you, for letting me read for you today. Amazing. Stardust, I got your question, but it's very vague. um, can you please rephrase, or because there's a lot that can happen. So please rephrase your question to something a bit more specific. And next, I'm going to go with D Painless's question, who is asking, in a past reading, the records confirmed the negative energies where I live. Not my home itself, but the area. I find I am battling these energies, tiring. Am I better served leaving the area? Interesting. In the area is it like negative part? Is it for the highest good and best? Painless to leave the area right? Did I put percent? Oh, there we go. I sorry. Necessarily. I'm not getting that they're necessarily negative energies, the painless, but the energy in your area does not jive with yours. Um, it's an energy mismatch, although I wouldn't call it negative. It's just not benefiting you. It's not like they're showing it to me in colors. Like when you're red or when you're blue, like they're red is how they're showing it to me in colors. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's where they're showing me. So it's just not flowing. There, it's just not in sync with you. It's not flowing. Okay, but it's not necessarily negative. It's just not. Um, it doesn't go with your energy. So I'm going to ask: is it for the painless's highest good and best interest to leave the area where? Okay, I'm getting a yes on this. Yeah, might be better to leave the area or to move to another area that is more supportive to your energy. That's what I'm getting, the painless. And again, this is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. But I hope that helps. Yo, okay. The painless is saying it is more of a clashing. Yeah, clashing. It's not very supportive to your energy, is what I'm getting from the records. I'm sorry to hear that you just got there. Yeah. Oh, Audra is here. Hi, Audra. I'm here every week though. Okay. And last but not the least is a question from Stardust, who is asking whether the Akashic Masters can help to fill in WTF happened here. Blanks, please. So that's why I'm asking to rephrase because it doesn't. It's very vague, to be honest. Stardust, and you're saying if my life course was derailed, how to best get it on? It doesn't. This is like the question about life paths or paths. Even though things don't look that way, we are always on a path. Um, Even if it feels like we're on the wrong path, it's still a path. We can view it as a detour. So it's not necessarily bad. It's just a different path, if that makes sense. But I'm going to ask, like, what soul lesson are you trying to learn um, from this experience in your life, if that's okay with you? Soul lesson that Stardust is trying to learn. Okay, very clear. I asked the Akashic Records, what uh, soul lessons are you trying to learn from this? And what I got is the card failure. So this is the soul lesson that you're trying to learn from all the WTFs that has been happening to you. And it says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So this is one of the hardest lessons to learn, Stardust. And I feel like it's going to take a bit of time before you really learn what your soul signed up to learn about failure. Okay, I'm going to ask for more details. Failure being the opportunity to learn. Yeah. Sometimes it has to do with perspective as well and how we see things. And you're also trying to learn about worry, who is saying, I am learning that worry doesn't change the outcome. So if you've had failures and you're worrying about them, it's another part of this whole lesson that you're trying to learn. Like, does worrying help in any way in the experiences that I'm having? Or is it something that I can um, shift my focus on or shift my focus from worry to another thing? I feel like that's the soul lessons that you're trying to learn. First is about failure, and second is about worry. So I hope that helps, Stardust, and thank you so much for letting me read for you today. Um, I love that our community, whenever someone is going through something that also resonates for them, we leave encouraging messages to each other. I love that so much. So thank you so much, everyone, for supporting each other. So I'm going to close the records for now. We're past the hour. Thank you, everyone, for being here with me. Let's take a deep centering breath. I would like to close by thanking the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to close by thanking the Akashic Records masters for their point of view. And I would like to close by thanking the divine source for all the knowledge and healing. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. Your energy stays with you, and my energy stays with me. So thank you, everyone, for being here. So to wrap up today's episode, I'd like to leave you with with a final thought. Like, imagine asking your grandmother the same question every 10 years. Just imagine that for a second. Her answer might sound different, not because her truth changed, but because life gave her new wisdom to share in each of those 10 years. The Akashic Records, it's much similar. They don't just answer your question, they respond to who you have become. And as we grow, our perspective of things expand. um, our heart opens, and our readiness about things also deepens. And it's the wisdom that's available to us that grows alongside of us. So don't be afraid to revisit questions that matters the most. We can ask them again after a season of healing. We can ask them again after a difficult chapter that we've gone through. And we can ask them again after we've decided or we've celebrated a joyful milestone. We can ask them again when life feels uncertain. We might discover that the answer is never meant to be a single destination, not a single path. It's always meant to be an ongoing conversation with our soul. So if today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear it from your comments. Are there questions that you'd like to answer for the same every 10 years or every 5 years of your life? Um, what's one question that you found yourself returning throughout your life? So it doesn't have to be about the Akashic records. It could simply be a question in your heart that keeps asking you that you keep asking as you grow. Your reflections might inspire someone else on their journey. So if you've enjoyed today's conversation, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to someone who might need to hear the messages. So thank you so much, everyone, for being with me today. And until next time, please stay curious about the soul. And again, I will be back with Niber on Thursday, or my Thursday, your Wednesday. That will be July 22nd. So I hope to see you again there. And